Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hello, everyone. Today is February before 19, I don't know, 80 or 85. You probably maybe wouldn't have caught it. But what did he have in mind when he chose that song? We're back, baby. We are moving forward now. If you've been, watching these, and I appreciate those of you who do. You know that by now we've had two clinics for the vaccine, and in fact, this coming Friday, we're scheduled for the second dose, and then the following Friday, the 19th, it'll be the larger one at the Martin Center. That's been a huge and important development in our service delivery and helping us think about how we're going to get back. Now, people have been talking about back to normal, but what things are going to be like post-pandemic. And I want to assure you that we've been talking about that, and we have no intention of getting back to normal. We are going to get back to better. And that is something that I've invited Ted Horn to talk about and to join me in a couple of minutes. But first, I'm just going to share a couple of things. Last night, I left the office and I came out, and on the window of my car, I found this taped to the window. Hi, Dan, missed you much, Stephen. Now, Stephen, who told you I like a piece of candy now and then? But I didn't eat either of the two pieces. They're still there, as you can see. It was a small gesture, but it meant a lot to me because it, I believe, speaks to the quality of concern and compassion, uh, unity that we find so important and that we hold so dear in this organization. And I'm a person, I've got plenty of problems, and I probably talk about them too much, but um, I've been going through a few things, and I haven't seen Stephen Selesky for a while, and that small gesture meant a lot to me. In fact, today, this morning, was our monthly business meeting, and this is a time when all the leadership for NuPath comes together, and they come together. That's with air quotes because we no longer are able to do it in person. We do it virtually through Zoom, but the whole intention today was to talk about our Back to Better campaign and how that is this exciting feature, this exciting campaign that we are beginning to organize to prepare for this post-pandemic world that we're going to be living in, and I was looking forward to it. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend because I needed to be with my mother. Now, I'm going to just tell you briefly where I am because I work with some wonderful people that have been very kind, and they occasionally ask about my mom. People know that she moved out here a couple of years ago, and she's been living in an assisted living. She's recently had a couple of falls, and she's been in decline since then. And my family made the decision just a couple of days ago that we were going to engage hospice to support her and to support us during this period of time when she is really, really struggling. So that's been a big, um, it was a difficult decision for us to reach. And it is in a direction, I'll be honest, because she's required a lot of help, and I've been spending a lot of time there. And when we talk about the very many special features or the parts of our organization that are so important, the sense of belonging, unity, collaboration, all of these things that make us feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. I've I've been feeling that in real time over the past couple of days. And so this morning, when I wasn't able to attend the meeting because I had a nurse that was there to begin some of the treatment for my mom, I knew that I could rely on an incredible team of people that were there to move things forward. And I regret that I wasn't able to participate, but then I had a great idea. I thought, why not bring somebody on board to kind of fill me in on what happened, and why not give you all the opportunity to hear what we're talking about at the highest level. And so, with that, I'm going to ask Ted Horn to join me. Ted, as you know, is Vice President of Training and Quality Assurance. And when we talk about quality assurance, it's a big thing that we're often hear, but maybe we don't know what it means. Hey, Ted, how are you?
Good. How are you, Dan?
I am doing well, thank you. And I want to thank you for your participation. I know, along with Brett and Greg and others today, and James Shannon, in what I hear was a brilliant meeting. Now, quality assurance, does that really mean anything? Or how do we, how, no, I know it means a lot. We just recently went through CARF. I believe we had a good showing. That's huge. Like, you carry notebooks that are literally this thick, so I know that it must be important. And you do so much for this organization, Ted. You have been with the organization for over 20 years, and just on a personal level, don't worry, I'm probably not getting too gushy, but I have leaned on you so heavily over the past couple of years. You are such a true and trusted member of the team, and I know that you've got, along with so many others, this the best interest for our clients, for the families, for all of our stakeholders. And moving some sort of an initiative, moving some sort of a campaign down the road in a way that can be sustained. So it's not just idle language that gets talked about, that gets put up on websites. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. And you are so often the tip of the spear in these things that we do, and try to create outcomes for our stakeholders and for the clients and the people that we serve that means something. Talk to us about that, about what we're doing now with the Back to Better, and how the meeting went today. And I'm going to try to zip it until you've had a chance to explain to people what we're doing.
Sure. Thank you. And before I get started, I know I speak for everybody that was at the meeting this morning and the whole NuPath community. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family going forward. And we did miss you this morning, but we were able to have a great meeting. What we're doing with this Back to Better, I'm particularly excited about it because it was born, Brett Riley introduced it a couple of months ago. And it was introduced at a time where we weren't in a really bright place. We were going into the winter. We had the threats that played out of these higher infection rates going into the holiday seasons, and started to see some indications that more restrictions would be put in place and whatnot. And it gave a glimmer of hope that over the last couple of months has really built. And I say that because you mentioned, making something more than just a slogan. That's not my opportunity. That's everyone in this organization's opportunity that we have ahead of us. When this was introduced, I mentioned it was the right time to introduce it, but it didn't feel real. And there's things happening right now that make it the right time, and made today the right time. The vaccine, we have on Friday, we have the North Andover second vaccine happening. And then next Friday, we have the large group at the Martin Center vaccine happening. We have lower infection rates, which are translating to lower quarantine rates for our programs and the people in them. Emerging discussions of reimagined programs that we can look forward to after June and going forward. Program member return. We're in the midst right now of our second phase of Return to Program campaign, where we're reaching out to families, group homes, and program members as the vaccine was the next milestone, and we look forward to a wave of returns in in-person programming. And then finally, we're going into seasons, although it may not look like it outside, we really are starting to get close to that spring and summer where we can look forward to re-erecting the tents in the outdoor spaces and really utilizing the outdoor spaces to maximize social distancing, but also people back in our program. So the time was really right. And it's in advance of an anniversary that's coming up in 1 month and 1 day, which is the date that we shut down the day programs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an anniversary we're looking forward to celebrating. It's an anniversary we're looking forward to moving forward from in this back to better. So
Ted,
yeah.
can I just before you move on, there's another anniversary that is coming up in the next couple of weeks, and that would be oh boy, I should have done the math. Is it maybe the 8th year since the inception of Navigating Life, and it was in February in 2013. It was just a few months before I took over as CEO for NuPath, and we had an incident where we basically lost. I'll say lost because they were off the map, off the grid. We didn't know where they were. New families, don't worry, that could never happen again because we now have Navigating Life. But I remember thinking I was approaching the time when I was going to become CEO and feeling this just dread of what am I doing? What are we doing as an organization to keep people as safe as they can be? The reason I bring this up is because here we are now 8 years later, and we have this viable, elegant, beautiful app that families are able to use to help them understand and participate and be aware of what kinds of things are going on in their child's life throughout the course of the day. I'm just going to say it here. I know lots of people watch this, and I never, always know who it's going to be. But this is something that we have built in a way that is designed to be shared, part of our core values, to be shared with other organizations. We're currently in the process of trying to do that. The pandemic really kind of derailed us a little bit, but we've come back stronger. And the reason I mention that is because in so many ways, I think Navigating Life, it sort of typifies the kind of cutting edge, forward thinking, progressive modeling of new service delivery and new kinds of options that we are known to provide to our stakeholders. And as we think about this Back to Better campaign, and you talked about the people that are involved in thinking about it, it's almost part of our DNA, isn't it, NuPath, that we're just the Goldilocks size of organizations that we can push these things forward. We don't get so caught up in these huge giant organizations that are sometimes, it's very hard for them to respond in new and truly sustainable ways. And so this is why I think that whatever we're doing, Navigating Life features heavily in it because it harnesses technology and things that the greater industry and broadly across industry in general in the United States and the world are using, as far as technology goes, and making that accessible to the people that we serve and their families. Talk to us about how we're optimizing those kinds of most forward-thinking sorts of planning as we move forward with this.
So yeah, absolutely. Beyond the practical application of Navigating Life during this time, it serves as a model of innovative thinking. As you said, Navigating Life was born out of, in a way, out of necessity, but out of a hard time, a hard experience, and it informed us of what we could do to solve not only that day, but every day going forward. And we have an opportunity here as we look forward. Examples of how we're thinking of building beyond what we do, right? Navigating Life, that brought us to a point of safety, but it means so much more to people today. right? The initial solution has expanded to mean so much more, and we look forward to, some of the things that we've gained over the last 11 months, not just continuing, but continuing to enhance those things. We talk about this morning in particular, um, some of the best gains are efficiencies that we've not only learned but discovered through applications. We've always had trouble with staff meetings. And the business meeting is an example of, we've lost some things over the last year with that business meeting, where we don't have the unity of coming together in person. And what's really lost by that is the networking that happens, the off the cuffs, ideas that are born over a cup of coffee before the meeting, and catching up after the meeting, sharing a lunch. And, looking at our residential team, how much can be gained by using what we're doing today going forward to bring the residential team together in an efficient way, because we know that our team has many demands on them outside of their hours with NuPath, whether it's second job, family, and whatnot. And also because they're working 24 hours a day to try to bring people back. In day program, it's easy. After work, we're going to get together, we're going to have a meeting. When you have 24 hours of shifts in a day, it's kind of hard to coordinate everybody's schedule. So using the technology that has brought us together in this format will allow us to bring our residential team together more frequently, for training, for updates, for team building, that they may not experience and can't experience right now. So that was one of the examples in my role looking at training. We know part of getting back what we talked about this morning, we've lost some resources over the last 11 months between staff furlough, that they can't come back or have left. As we bring our members back into the program, we know we need resources. We know we need, with the NuPath experience, we need to get back to recruiting. We need to get that machine back up and running. And then we're faced with onboarding and looking at real innovative ways of using technology and hybrid models to bring people together, but also get them the information they need to start the job and be ready to be a NuPath employee on their first day with NuPath.
Ted, you are a member of the technology committee that's part of the ARC and ADDP. You rub shoulders with some pretty influential people, as far as policy and program design for our industry. And I'm on the ADDP board, and there's it seems like everywhere you turn, there's technology committees lately. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Sometimes me. Sometimes I get frustrated because when I'm part of doing committee work, I sometimes feel like the pace of change, or the tolerance for risk, or the novel, the new, the fresh, that which is not yet understood, is sometimes harder for organizations that are larger than us, or let me see, how should I put this, that are not NuPath, to consider. I think sometimes we get in this bubble where we just move forward. We don't ask permission always. We don't stop to think if we can answer every question, if it's just all going to work out perfectly. But I think I'm very proud of the team that you and I, that we've all built, that we are willing to push the envelope in some of these areas that are not yet have not yet been harnessed or utilized by our industry. I say that our industry as a whole is easily 10 years behind what the private for-profit industry is. There hasn't been the capital. You've heard me say all this before, but there hasn't been the capital investment in new technologies and new apps and things for our population, for our staff, for where we are now. And yet, in spite of that, we've moved forward, and we have this gorgeous, beautiful app that has meant it's made a big difference in people's lives. Do you sometimes feel like what we're doing here? Well, I don't want to ask a tough question, but talk to me about the differences in what we are willing to do, and sometimes your work in a broader community where you have to bring so many other people in, and people are asking the question, "Well, is it really going to work? Can we really do that?" How do you see us being different for families that may not know or maybe are new to the organization?
So I think, we in this field, there's two things that are needed, right? There's the need for an appetite for reasonable risk, and there's a need for a pursuit of innovative, advances in the field. And I think technology falls into the second, but unfortunately sometimes gets couched in the first of, well, what can people get themselves into trouble? And that's a problem that we encounter much too often in this field. um, we we are looking. I think the back to better is what really is going to define what we know about ourselves in the past, present, and will, in the future. Of, that we're not just looking to get back to normal.
Hmm.
We're looking to see how we can pass that line and be better. And I think technology is a good example. I think our use of Navigating Life is an example. I think our Without Walls program is an example. We didn't ask for permission to start the Without Walls program. It was the right thing to
Yep.
do. We made sure that we had analyzed and examined the risks associated with it, and we designed a program that satisfied a reasonable appetite for risk, but also was full of innovation. And it's been a model for other organizations. So looking forward, I think, we're not we're not looking to show off and, to be the first to do something necessarily, but we want to, by moving it forward, we're bringing people along with us, and that's how the whole field can
Hmm.
advance. We're not. I've never gotten the feeling that we want to stand necessarily alone, but we want partners in innovation, because that's how the whole field can advance. I think there's a lot of potential ahead of us. A lot of opportunity. The remote programming, developing, enhancing the remote programming, for people who either, work part of their day and are looking for a social component, that we're there for them, that they're able to check in with us and connect, with their peer network, their social network, their friends, and us, quite frankly, because we've become an important part of their lives. We're doing the remote job coaching, which, you mentioned that we just finished CARF, and we could have delayed our CARF survey 6 months. We did have the option to delay. Maybe we wanted to wait until after the pandemic, but that's delaying feedback in order to advance. The CARF survey, it's a consultative assessment of where we're at. And, we were able to receive feedback, especially with the use of technology, to advance and refine our use of technology, rather than doing a look back in 6 months, where we have a 6 month head start on innovating and improving what we're doing. The services are going to look different going forward, and we can
You know,
influence that.
you this idea that we're not trying to rattle the cage in our industry, say, look at us, look at us, look at us doing these things. I think that we made the decision long ago that we were going to continue to strive for excellence in all that we do, regardless of what our industry said was possible. Sometimes you need that wild thinker, that little bit of a renegade, or a crazy thinking agency to show a larger community what's possible. I still feel that the value of what we bring to the table has not been fully realized, but I do not care, because my main focus is on the people that we serve. I will rattle the cage and say, look at us, look at us, look at us, for the staff that are working for NuPath, because guys, we are ready to rock. And this Back to Better campaign is really meant to kind of focus our intention in practical ways. We've probably got one of the most intelligent, and talented group of professionals that are now running this organization. The longevity alone is just something that I doubt is matched anywhere in this country. Uh, the level of this intrepid kind of determination that we're not just going to be sustaining things, but advancing, moving things forward. That is our commitment and our promise. I know you feel that way. I know that you are driven by those sorts of successes and real measurable results as we move forward. So I am really super excited about what this future is going to look like. I'm going to probably need you to remind me about the pandemic every now and then. I'm not going to forget about the pandemic. We still have got, a lot to do in that regard as far as making sure that the rest of us get vaccinated, that we're continuing to move forward. But we're going to be looking to get the chains of this past year off of us and start to, stretch our muscles again and get out there and touch those families' lives that maybe are still new to navigating life. Help them understand why, how we're going to reimagine, the whole day services kind of, sort of experience. And I think we've got some really bright minds that are going to bring us along, don't you?
I do. And, I think, you just reminded us, of stretching the muscles. We're not better than we were a year ago, but we're going to be. And it's going to take hard work. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us to get back, but we also have a team that's committed to going past that line.
Yeah, we do.
That it's a team that has the talent to do it, and it's a team that is all on board to do that hard work. So, for the staff and for the members and for the families, there's bright days ahead.
It's like we sailed through the storm, sails tattered, the lines flapping, and we're emerging into the clear seas, and crews are descending on every part of this vessel, and we're all doing our part in making sure that we're ready to go full steam ahead. Ted Horn, we are so lucky to have you part of this organization. I mean that with all sincerity, and I appreciate you coming on today to talk to us about the exciting things that are happening. And I look forward to having you back again sometime soon. And hey, are you going to be better when we get back, or is it just NuPath?
We got this.
We got this, man. Thank you, Ted, so much for talking to me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, that's great. Ted's wonderful. I really mean it. We're very fortunate to have him. He's a incredible mind. All right, so you don't get bored with me. Next Thursday for NuPath Live, I'm going to be having a special fill-in host, James Sannon, who you all know is another incredible talent of this organization, and one that I feel has got some unique abilities to work within the digital milieu. This stuff is not easy, guys. I know that, for however many of you do log in or are watching this, it probably just seems like it's just another boring video, but it takes a lot of work, and it takes a little bit of practice to be able to fill half an hour. Actually, it's not that hard for me. I can fill hours and hours probably. It's actually harder to keep it to 30 minutes than you might think. But James is going to be joining us, and I hope he's going to talk a little bit about some of the exciting new features in our day services, sort of menu of options. If you're part of NuPath, we're glad you are, and you should feel encouraged and excited about where we're going to go from here. Yeah, we're not better than we were, but I think that maybe we are, because we're stronger. We're more certain than we ever have been that we can get through anything that this world tosses our way, as long as we stay united. And we got this, guys. We have got this, and we are ready to roll. Thank you for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.